What's up, YouTube? Double R here, RC Richie. Welcome back to the channel. And yep, welcome back to my creativity. It was time to get another body for the nice new shorty build. If you haven't seen my channel or seen my previous videos, we built ourselves a shorty. And when I say shorty, this thing is 123 millimeters. But yep, I've been ever since I built this. My very first body was the LC70. This is a toy RC straight from Japan. And this is actually a 2023 re-release right-hand drive. But this is 115 millimeters. So we fitted it, you know, it's okay. Doesn't quite match up the wheel wells. But if you've seen my previous videos before, my previous channel and everything here, this isn't my very first time playing around with these small bodies. I dabbled in it before, and probably my very first one was this penny. I believe this is an 87 GMC Jimmy. And one thing I can say about these model kits, as a kid, I've never dabbled with them. But man, these things are pretty cool. But we'll get into all that. But yeah, this is my very first one. And then, as you can see, pretty much kept grabbing more. This is Thunder. 66 Malibu SS. And we got Smokey. I believe this is a 1960 Model T. A Ford 100, I believe. Model T. But yep. So these models are pretty small. As you can see right there in that box, they're usually 1/24 scale or 1/25 scale. It'll say it right in the corner. So I definitely challenge everybody, if you haven't already, to try and fit one of these bodies, because it's definitely a challenge. And there's a very, very, very big selection of all types of bodies. But the one thing I didn't know before is when I first set up these bodies, basically I was still running on a C10 chassis, which is going to be around your 132, 134 millimeters. Ideally, I just wasn't never matching my wheel wells, but I made it work. You know, we cut out the wheel wells pretty big, and we made it work. But if you're definitely looking for a scale build, this is what you want. Again, these are pretty small, so now knowing what I know now, months later, the ideal setup for these model kits are going to be in your 120 to 125 millimeter wheelbase. And that's going to be perfect for these. You'll probably still have to do some trimming, but that's probably going to be your closest scale you're going to get to these. So now that we know that, fast forward. We have ourselves our first shorty. Again, I did mine using a previous chassis that I had in Jura. This is the 6-degree skid, not the 8. And I'm using C10 fronts all the way around. And they are actually triple bent, just to create a shorter distance. So to be honest with you, I don't know exactly what the millimeter is between each link. And we ran into an issue with the uppers. So I sourced out Gladiator ones for that one and fixed that. Yeah. Another thing you're going to need to know is if you are building a shorty, you're definitely going to need some weight down low for this. Because it's so small and so light, you need extra weight on there. So since then, we have swapped out my shocks. Now I'm actually running my 39 millimeter Endura shocks that I had on a previous build. Took those off. The travel is ridiculous on it. at first I was saying if is it too much, but it's actually a lot better now. It actually made the vehicle a little bit more stable. And what I was running before with my little C10 stock ones. So yeah, we're banded all the way around. So now we have crazy travel. So that's allowing me to flex a little bit better now. Since then, we've got some Endura brass covers, which is only about 11 grams a piece. I'm still running my weights up front. I could probably use some more, even more now. But one thing I could say is before building this body, I'll get into all that. I still feel we still need some more weight. So eventually, we can probably get that through some wheels, or if down the road, if I still get some axles. But yep, so since then, like I said, yep, we got this one. This one's all fitted. This is Grogu. And then now since we refitted this one, this was on another chassis. We took all the magnets off and refit that one. So actually you can see where the previous was set up. Got the Starlight headliner in there. So we got that one to fit. And these two were from the other chassis. So these are not fitted to this one. But yeah, so again, trying to keep on going with the creativity. Sourcing out another body for this. Came across another new bright body. Went ahead and ordered it. This thing came. And man... That little new bright body was a 124 scale, but this thing was so small. You know, pictures never do anything justice. It makes it look bigger. But we returned that. So you know what? It's time to head up Hobby Lobby. So again, knowing what I know, Hobby Lobby, something you guys, if you don't know, if you have one in your area, definitely hit them up. They have a lot of stuff in there. But they have tons of these, and these always go on sale. I believe is every 2 weeks. And when I say sale, 40% off. So the price you see here, I got that for 40% off. That's damn near half off. So yeah, you can get bodies for freaking $13, you know what I mean? And when I tell you the detail that comes in these vehicles, like again, if you have experience with them, you know. But if you don't, everything has to get put together. But man, so every time I bought one, my goal was always try to match what it looked like on the box, you know? But again, when I say I want everybody to challenge themselves by getting one of these, is because you're definitely going to run into fitment issues. Fitment and definitely have to do a whole lot of trimming. So with that being said, so far, I have not been able to use any of the beds because the way these are designed, and maybe somebody out there can set theirs up a lot better than I can, but these are pretty much all set up on a subframe, so it'll be on a ladder going across. So what's going to happen is it's just going to raise up the body. You're talking about something that looks like this to sit all the way up like that high, you know what I mean? And that's not what I'm going for, not to mention... If you see this one, I wasn't able to use this one either because you're going to have a pretty big cutout in the back to have everything to clear. So what's going to happen again by this being back here? It's possible, but the integrity of all this is going to be carved out. Maybe you can build it back up with styrene. But so far, I have yet to build one in its entirety with the bed. But these are different. So you're definitely better off getting something like this because that's going to be a full shell. And when I say full shell, there's plenty of things you have to glue on there. Like this model, for instance, had a flip forward hood. So you can see where I had to glue everything on here. But anyway, you definitely have to do some gluing. They usually come with glasses. So yeah. Took a visit over there. I previously ordered this from Etsy. So this came And my thought process was to add it to a cab that I had here, and it wasn't lining up. So I was just sitting on this for a while. So we went ahead and took a trip. I'm sorry, I'm just running my mouth, man, but excuse me. Went ahead and got this. So again, I wanted to set it up street style. And what makes this one a street style is basically, they all have descriptions over here. But basically, during the 80s, everybody started slamming their whips and souping them up. But yeah, this has the 350 tune port injected, It's got the custom roll pan bar in the front, but tinted windows, sunroof, crazy sick wheels. But yeah, man, this thing is pretty nice. I like the way it came out. So again, the creative juice is going. I said, you know what? Let's see if we can fit this, since that's not going to work, that bed. Let's see if we can fit this to that. And it worked. My only problem is I just didn't like the way how high the roll bar sat. And I was going to try to customize that, but I said, for what? I mean, that's what a roll bar is supposed to do, right? But yeah, here she is. I'm sorry, I'm not even looking at my camera. Calling this one Blueprint. My lights don't do it any justice. But yeah, we got a parts runner. And this is basically, his street style truck. Turned it into a parts style, parts runner now. Had to get a job, so he can't be hitting the streets like that all crazy. So we put the bed on here. And now he's working for Harry. Yeah, you see that big block back there. Painted that all up, put that all together. You got to glue all the pieces. Not to mention, this is magnetized. Something I've been kind of doing on my latest build is kind of putting magnets underneath. Put a little magnet somewhere else. And then like that, I don't have to always glue all my accessories on the back. If I want to take it off, just in case it was just going to create too much weight. But not to mention, we got a parts runner here. So eventually we'll have different parts. But yeah, I think that came out pretty slick, man. I said I wanted to make a pallet. So this is my very first attempt making a pallet. I had this wood already sitting around, stained already from my Unimog roadblock. So I figured the size of this would be perfect. I think it came out pretty slick. I also have the magnet from the back over here where it's tapped in for the rear. So if I wanted to, I could kind of run it this way. It'll go that way as well. But yeah, this is Blueprint. This one came with, like I said, tinted windows. Came with the moonroof. You can see we have glue underneath there because dumb and me, I forgot all my crazy detail that I'm trying to do. Put another Starlight headliner in there. But after I put it in there, I forgot that it had a moonroof. And once I put the glue down, I said, I'm not going to fix it. But if I know that, I would have definitely cut it out. But it is what it is. It's all good. But yeah, this is what I came up with. And I say I challenge again. You can see the firewalls, how much of the firewall comes down. You're going to have to cut all that out just to get it to fit in there. Like, that's a lot of carving. You know what I mean? But this is how we're setting it up. Still same setup. But because of this body, man, it's tight. It's very tight. I got to run this battery all the way forward like this. There we go. That's on. Yep. I am not completely done with this yet. Again, I'm still debating the weight situation a little bit more as far as axles, or we definitely have some wheels coming. If you saw my previous short, those mini Patagonias, they're pretty dope, but I think they're very small. I mean, compared to this wheel, it's pretty cool for a scale build, but you're going to have definitely issues with crawling. And my whole main thing is I love to crawl. So I want to climb. I want to crawl. I'm not into the whole, doing the trailing thing. And it looks cool, but I want it to perform as well. You know what I mean? So I know I would get freaking frustrated if something as small as a finger, you know what I mean, is going to make it not be able to go over. But, yeah, here she is. This is Blueprint. There's one thing left to do, to get her over to Mount Richmore and see how she performs. I only ran this thing once. I did one lap, and I was worried about the body. Oh, yeah, let me go over the body, the weight of it. I was worried about the body being, it's definitely top heavy now. We gained some weight, but it's actually better now. And you can see all the weight is in the back. But being as though for this size is 73 grams. That's pretty heavy for this size. Not bad. All right, let's get over to Mount Richmore, see how she does. Stay tuned. Okay, we good. We got Blueprint out at Mount Richmore. Hey, he's got, man, he took the wrong turn. Now he's got to go all through the mountains just to make this delivery. Oh, better make sure that 350 don't fall off the back. Come on, Blueprint. Tell you we need some more weight. 350 stayed on though. Woo! HOG. We lost the 350. It's all good. Hopefully this glue stays intact. We don't have any issues. Definitely can't get down this yet. Nope. Doesn't look like we're gonna make it up this camelback. We gotta take the lower road up. Ready to catch it. Alright, we're gonna end the video there. Here you go, blueprint. Scottsdale, parts runner. Stay tuned, like and subscribe. Catch you on the next one.